You have the one guy who has all the money in the world, and you have the guy who's from just the British Secret Service, and he just so happens to have like a supercar and a gun, and he's able to like outwit him at every turn. So much so that he just like, in literal terms, turns a lesbian straight to save the world.
Where is the, there's the one moment where she says, your charm's not going to work.
You can turn off the charm. I'm immune.
Like, when does her flying circus become like a cunnilingus circle?
It's one of those things.
Where is
that is in the like, if you watch
Pussy Galore flying.
No, of course. Okay, Charlie, of course we don't see that in the film. And I'm not saying that's...
Where is the proof that she's... she's just...
It's more in
she's
the
just
fact
playing
that
hard to get, right?
I'm not with you here, McCurdy. She's just a strong woman.
It's 1960s. They're not going to be out in front about everything. There's a lot of movies that do things where they say things off to... Like, things are not said explicitly.
Goldfinger comes onto her and she rejects him because he's a disgusting slob. Other than that, it's just Bond, right? And yeah, she fights Bond because Bond's the enemy, and then she relents pretty... I mean,
regardless of the
all of
lesbian
us would
comment or
relent
not,
in that situation.
regardless of the lesbian comment or not, it's just hilarious to me that this film, and I love this film, but it's hilarious to me that Bond sleeping with this woman saves the world. Because by doing so, he turns her, because I always forget every time I watch this movie, I'm like, wait, how does they stop this whole Fort Knox thing? And then I always forget about it, and I'm like, oh wait, that's right, because he slept with Pussy Galore and then turned her good.
I must have appealed to her maternal instincts.
I think Honor Blackman plays a better female Bond character because she can hold her own against Bond, whereas Tatiana is just so like, yeah, sure, Bond, I'll do whatever you ask me to do.
She's under orders to his She was under orders.
I think we get a better
Pussy Galore is not under order. Pussy Galore was told to go put on something scantily.
But it's also like this. The way that I see it.
No, Goldfinger said go put on something slutty.
I suggest you change it to something more suitable.
Tatiana was under orders.
Black man doesn't have to be like, oh, I have to follow this order. Great movies have great villains, right? The better the villain, the better the movie, because it's a better challenge for the main character. In that regard, I think that Honor Blackman playing Pussy Galore is a better challenge towards Bond because she doesn't just quickly fall for his charm. She's like, whatever, I'm Pussy Galore. I think like she's a better
Even if she's under
contrast.
orders, it makes it less interesting.
Yeah, I think, Johnny, what you were getting at is that Tatiana is just kind of like falls for Bond. Just like, that's what's orders. But with Pussy Galore,
Galore just
she has to put up she at least is a challenge towards Bond. Because Bond's like, oh, you're not going to fall for my charm. You're not going to fall for my charm. I'm going to put on the charm even harder.
Am I the only one that thinks Tatiana is the better Bond girl? I feel like she actually has something that she's doing, and Pussy Galore is just like, oh, Bond slept with me, so I'm going to switch the gas out.
At what moment did you feel like Tatiana fell in love with him?
That moment's on the train.
It was the dresses or some combination of the kindness on the train. That's my guess. Same question. What moment does Miss Galore?
I don't think they do.
Your point, Johnny, I think what you're trying to ask is if in the other film, Tatiana falls in love with Bond, right? And then what I love about Pussy Galore and James Bond's relationship in this film is I think they both have a mutual respect where they're like, yeah, that was some good damn sex. That was some great sex. But none of them are like, I'm in love with you. Charlie, I know your thoughts on feminism. Whatever.
My thoughts on feminism as it relates to Bond girls only go so far as to point out that it has successfully reduced any kind of analysis of female characters down to strong or not strong. And I just do not find it interesting or compelling. I find it lazy. And 99% of the time, it's just physical strength and no other kind of strength. There's such a focus on making Bond girls physical, just as physical as Bond, to the point that they don't have any character. Feminist standards of female strength are so superficial. All they care is that a woman acts like a man physically. It's so uncreative. I'm more interested in deeper character traits than Pussy Galore just standing there acting all smug, and then we pretend that that's strength. I mean, it's just stupid. I am just not impressed by it. I'm more impressed by Tatiana, who is forced into an impossible impossible situation, and a really dangerous one at that, Tanya is playing a role. She's playing a part, and she has to ride this line of not getting killed by her superiors, but also convincing Bond that she's in love with him. Her whole mission is to convince him that she is. And I'm sure the whole time that was terrifying. That took a lot of psychological strength for her to pull off her whole end of the bargain. But eventually it does become real, and that's made obvious because she shoots Frau. I'm pretty sure Tatiana is stronger than Pussy Galore, even though Pussy Galore can throw some judo moves or whatever. Who cares? All in all, male or female, I care more about strength of character than I do characters of physical strength. And by that standard, I think Tanya wins over Pussy Galore any day of the week.
There's an added layer with Tatiana where it's like, is it real? At one point, Karen Bay dies. Bond presses the matter with her. Like, he's like, fucking bitch, you did this. And she's like,
even if you kill me, I can say nothing.
There's this question of what's real between them. Is it just orders? Is this real love? She actually has fallen for him, and Bond really never does. Bond just continues to focus on the mission. But there's a question there. Whereas with Pussy Galore, they really share just a few scenes together. But the moment that they are alone together, Bond smashes in like 2 seconds. I mean, he Dr. No Means knows the shit out of her. Like, he just gets on top.
She doesn't come to his wins so easily as I think Tatiana. And I know Tatiana's under orders, but like every scene and the way that she plays that character, it really just seems like, take me, Bond. Just take me. Like, she's just very...
By design. That's by design,
here's a question.
The first scene with her, she literally climbs into bed because that's the point.
I'm talking about the acting. I'm not talking about the character's motivations. I think in the acting, she seems very easy compared to the character, Pussy Galore, does not seem easy at all. But I love the fact that Honor Blackman's character, Pussy Galore, is not so easily swayed by shit. Because it at least gives you some kind of conflict. Whereas the other character just feels like she just kind of falls over real quick like dominoes. It's just very easy.
She's under orders. I mean, you cannot underplay that.
Even after
Goldfinger even says, Goldfinger's like, go put on something slutty because I want you and Bond to look like a thing. Like, even Pussy Galore's under orders. And had they never been left alone...
at least stands up to Bond.
Charlie, it doesn't matter. You're getting hung up on the fact that it's
conflict orders there where she has to stand up to Bond's charge.
Okay,
why would Romanova fight Bond, though? Literally, the first scene between them, she gets into his bed naked. She gets into bed naked so that when Bond walks in, they can... because she's told to do so. You can't underplay that. What?
You're right about the orders. You are.
Oh my God.
But my point is so technically they were both under orders, like you said, right?
Yeah.
They were both under orders. Let's say you are the seductress and your job is to seduce Bond. Do you think it's going to be more interesting to watch if you're like, yeah, Bond, here it is. Like, it's all here for you. You can do whatever you want with it. Or is it more intriguing to Bond to kind of lead him on for a minute, make him play a game, make him pursue you, make it difficult for him? Which approach is going to be more...
I'm saying
which approach is going to be more successful?
The comparison is unfair. The comparison is completely unfair because one chick is ordered to f*** him.
From now on, you will do anything he says.
And if I refuse?
Then you will not leave this room alive.
The other chick is ordered to, like, look after him, right? And so, yeah, Pussy Galore is going to, like, push him off because she's on the path to get rich, right? I'm saying you can't compare the two because Romanova, the first scene, they fuck.
Her interview process is like, turn around. Let me make sure you have... Oh, you got that? You got an ass. Okay, cool. Bond's going to like that.
Fine-looking girl.
She was hired because she's sexy. Pussy Galore happens to be sexy. Bond gladly forces himself on her, and then she trades millions of dollars to be with him. So did she really resist him all that much? Because up until then, she was just protecting her potential profit.
Your share of Operation Grand Slam will make you a very rich woman, my dear.
Why else would I be in it, Mr. Goldfinger?
Then she gives it all up because he banged her good. Whereas with Tatiana, you have this question of what's real and what's not real. And that she's essentially sexy Bond bait in a giant 007 trap. Frankly, I find that to be more interesting. Pussy Galore could have been a fucking dog face. Pussy Galore could have been a odd job. The actor Oddjob could have played Pussy Galore. You know what I mean? Or God forbid, what if Colonel Klebb had played Pussy Galore? I mean, Jesus, Bond would have to like poke his eyes out to accomplish that mission. It would have been tougher for Bond had she been ugly. All we have at the end of the day is two really attractive people f***ing. That's it. I don't think it's super interesting, but regardless, Tatiana doesn't have a choice and Pussy Galore does. I'm saying you can't compare the two in the same way.
Okay, that's valid.